And dropped frames are resolved. All right, great. I guess I heard a rumor that the hardware encoder had been updated. We shall see. Ooh, is it fully modular? I'm so proud of you. You're doing really, really great stuff, dude. You bet, Ben. Fire something over to me. I will take a look. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, got some interesting messages from folks over the weekend. Some people are pretty happy that this is happening again, and we've got a birthday stream coming up next week, and there were some inquiries as to what the birthday special is going to be this year. Every year we do something kind of nuts. We, the community. Some years it's like 80% off of everything in the store, and some years it's like here's a special pack that will never be released into the world, but you guys get it, that kind of thing. So this year we will probably do a really nice sale for y'all. But I was thinking, based on some of the messages that came in over the weekend, that you guys deserve a sound pack too. And there was actually several requests for us to get into some really deep sound design this week. Like really deep. Looking at transforming digital sounds into analog. I'm speaking aesthetically, of course. Can't go back in time and choose a different tool. But we can make a very clean, sharp digital tool sound analog without any problem. Atmospheric, lots of grit, texture, immersion, and three-dimensional sound design. So I figured we could just kind of package all of those things up into one great ball of awesome. And make you guys a community sound pack while we are at it. So, Zev, we were just speaking about you. I decided to put up your latest treehouse. And I actually get to see you later today. Oh man, I never even moved all my stuff around this morning. Mondays. All right. Well. Huge recording from Modular and sliced up good pieces, processed them from there. Excellent, dude. I really can't wait to put ears on it. All right. Well, like I was saying, let's turn down this fine music here and dig into this. So we're going to be sending out the official announcement to the community tomorrow in the rarely sent newsletter. So we should probably start seeing people show up for Wednesday streams. So that's the first little topic of businesses. We're going to be probably settling into a Monday, Wednesday, Friday regular stream. Might have little extra streams here and there as the inspiration strikes, of course. But I really want to have a standardized set schedule so everybody knows when to tune in. So Wednesday is when we'll start seeing some people, and we'll unveil Discord as well. And as well as OhmLab TV, like the official domain. Yeah, those are the changes this week, and the main focus of the week will be building the sound pack for you guys. And then the birthday stream is next Wednesday, so you guys should have this new pack in a week. And the aim here is to make something that everybody is able to use quite a bit, not just one time, not just for one kind of music, but something just really nice and mood setting. Yeah. Oh, well, it turns out that actually Twitch seems to be having problems this morning. I hope they resolve that. All right. One of the rooms on the Discord is going to be dedicated to just giveaways, funny enough. So as with all community sound packs, for those of you who have not played along with this in the past, what we do is you guys give me ideas, request tools, that type of thing, and I create. And then whatever is created in the end ends up on your computer. So fire off suggestions, wants, desires, whatever. Feel free to ask questions as we play. It won't be all heads down time, of course, because I like talking with y'all. But we're going to go deep. So I'm going to start with something really dusty, I think. Until I hear you guys say otherwise, I'm just going to play. Pick out a couple of oscillators. I'm just going to put some stuff into motion. These things may change later, but we'll start around here. All right, so I'm going to go for some really, just some really subtle stuff throughout this. Alright, something like this is probably going to work as a base. What's up, Zaris? How you doing, man? And I'm thinking what we might want to do is constrain this right down the middle for now, and then just explode it on the sides here in a bit. Oops, maybe we'll even go a little bit more extreme here. Yeah, that'll be cool. Especially down low. Let's fatten it up just a little bit though. Maybe not all the way back to a 12, but yeah, this will be cool. All right, so we're going to just map something right away here and give us a little, like a little filter timbre. We can even up our ring mod position, and we'll probably do something else here. Doing all right, Rick. Doing all right, man. Good morning, Purple Pros. What kind of tea did you make? Maybe we'll bring down that resonance a bit as we go up in our timbre modulation so it doesn't get too sci-fi. Yeah, we got like a little bionic in there, but it's not too weird. Zaris, I haven't had a chance to listen. I saw your message right as I was hitting the live button over here. But we can definitely give it a little bit of time here in stream later when more people are here, if you'd like, and if you want it on the down low for right now, we will keep it that way. Double bergamot, yum! Oh my goodness! When living in Thailand, the bergamot was great, and the kaffir limes are everywhere. And some of the best shampoo I've ever tried in my life was just kaffir lime, quite literally just blended with a little bit of coconut oil, and it turns into like this awesomeness. I never expected it to be so great, and I was kind of doubtful at first, and it was just amazing. I don't know what made me think of that, but well, I mean the bergamot did, but what made me share it out loud, I guess. All right, let's send this stuff into space. Let's do some detuning first. Oh, we got to get our noise back in here too. Let's do evens. Yeah. Instant death. One really detuned. Yeah, they're somewhat focused. Let's get some noise in there. Yeah, there we go. This noise really adds some gravity, huh? Yeah, Saffron. Azaris is all over. Really good stuff. Absolutely worth checking out. I think that some of the stuff that he's done, especially prior to the last couple, are really up your alley. Oh yeah, this could be a big atmosphere here. All right. Yes, love kaffir lime. Oh my goodness. So much so we'd go up into like up in like Lao especially, getting really good curry, and they'd serve, with fresh kaffir lime leaves floating in your bowl. And we just start, eating the lime leaves because can't get enough of them. They're like, you're not supposed to, like, we don't intend for you to eat those. I know. It's just so good. Yeah, this will be pretty good. Okay. Start moving some things around a little bit. That really makes it a lot more musical, doesn't it? Let's add in some grit. A little grit and sizzle in here, maybe. All right, so I would really like to bring some of this up. We're going to go in and mess with these shapes here in a bit. I tend to want to go in and do that stuff after I get the initial canvas figured out. And let's make this maybe offset this way. Yeah, that'll be nice. Let me just get back to the trigger here. That's kind of a nice starting point there. We're going to need some kind of like maybe squelch control on this one. We'll say that this is going to be that. And maybe we'll even put timbre in charge of this as well. Maybe they'll split the duty here. So these guys will work in tandem and kind of surprise folks. I actually don't really like it tethered to this one. I think we'll just find our spot again. All right, let's roll with that. Oh, Nick, I did see your email, and yes, I can help you out with the website stuff and the marketplace stuff. Absolutely, no problem there. And no, you don't need a bunch of money to get rolling with it either. I can definitely hook you up there. Yeah, Gumroad's pretty cool. It's okay, man. You can lick them if you like them enough. There's a nice little ring there. Okay, so that's going to be a little annoying for just a couple more minutes because we need to wrangle that in here in just a bit. But we need to build more first. Actually, we have plenty of chorus right now. Phaser, that's what I meant. actually be before our distortion. Space this out just a little bit and start sparking up our sides. Make one of these pretty darn quick. Let's just listen to just the wet for just a second here. I want just the crunchy little bits. Let's bring this down one. Speed that up, slow this one down. A little bit longer. Bring this back. Gonna EQ this thing. Let's do that before. Let's do that here. We'll definitely need to take out some low and some mid. And bring this one down a bit. Make it a bit more relaxed. Down even more. Push it up more. And we'll just call this ring instead. Since we backed off the drive stuff. Welcome back, Ben. Savage. Oh, man. And commands will be up this week, too. Looking forward to that. We'll be here, Rick. Coinmonger, welcome back. We are working on some really deep atmospheric sounds today. So we're kind of building the core of the sound right now, and then we're going to cream it out into a bunch of reverb here in a bit. Yeah, it should sound pretty hard right now. All right, let's get our lovely little OTT on here. We don't want to go too high on that, but we do want it pretty extreme. All right, let's bring this down. Okay, so this will be one of the timbre controls here. And we'll go mostly. And let's dial this up a bit. definitely want a better reverb on this. Turn that up just a tiny bit for you guys. Alright, see what this sounds like when we start cranking it up. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's bring this back in just a little bit. Starting to sound a little bit better, Coinmonger. Alright, now let's just shave off the top of this. Actually, that's fine. 6. That scream in there is great, huh? Yeah. Okay, so what we're missing here is some serious top end. So let's take this sub and we're going to make something weird with this. Let's take and put let's put like a saw, and let's go up like maybe 4 octaves. Keep this down. We're going to FM from it. Let's see what this FM sounds like. It should be kind of harsh. Oh, it's just haunted and lovely. Like a snow sound. Welcome back, Zars. Right? Yeah, it's pretty big. All right, let's we're gonna want a scream. We're gonna toss that here. And timbre ring scream and let's just play around with the idea that we might actually keep the reverb on this patch. See if we can make it sound maybe a little bit decent. Let's play with our timbre position a bit here. And drop down another octave. Crunchy bits maybe. Get our ring worked in here. Scream up. Clean it out a bit. Watch our volume. It's lit. Okay, this is some freaky stuff right here. Let's go way back down again. Ooh, all the way down is like open space. In fact, let's bring these table positions down just a touch more. Get rid of that ring for just a second here. Yeah, that's super calm. I like how calm that gets. All of the highlights. It's lit. Sample pack idea. Scary atmospheric. Yes, yes. I will add that to the list. And you know, we can incorporate some scary atmospheric into this pack. It doesn't even have to be a separate pack, okay? Because y'all are going to get this pack next week, so. And well, for those of you who don't know because you're new to OhmLab, um, this is about the time of year that we start getting scary anyway because Halloween is coming. And it's a freaky time of year, and we like to celebrate that around here. So, yeah, they really do. Um, okay, so this is kind of a nice little start for our little stretch out here this morning. I think I might actually hit pause on this one and start up another one. I might even change the pitch on this just a touch as the timbre goes up here. Oh, it should go up just a touch more. Just a touch more. Yeah, you can. You can load your own stuff into Serum. It's a wavetable synth, so if you do load them into an oscillator, you have to scan through, right? And you're looking at some fairly small sizes for that. You can also load up wave files into the noise oscillator because it's just a sampler, and then your pitch becomes, speed control as well. You can load PNGs, images, into the oscillators as well, which is kind of an interesting thing to play with. The really nice thing, though, is the back end, which we haven't really been touching at all in these streams yet. The built-in additive synthesis engine and the ability to do pretty much whatever you can imagine. There's even formulaic stuff that you can leverage in here. But a la Absinthe, you can come in here and manipulate your wave in a bunch of different ways, and then you can morph in various ways as well, which is really nice. Yeah, yeah. There's quite a bit you can do with it, and they've Steve just put out a really nice update recently, which allows you to even modulate the X and Y axis of each LFO. There's 8 built-in LFOs that you can freely assign to any parameter, even some that aren't in the actual interface through the matrix. And then you can now even modulate X and Y position of each breakpoint. You can add an infinite number of breakpoints. So you get a lot of flexibility. It's worth it. It's worth it. It's good. It's got great sound. I really like going into the global. Right now we're just going with a 2 times oversample. If you go down to the draft, you can get these really interesting textures in these types of atmospheric patches. Get a much more analog feel to it. Actually, before we jump out of this patch, let's just shape these envelopes and stuff really quick because it's kind of ugly right now. Let's just make it a little bit better. bring up our timbre so we can hear some stuff. Nice and windy. I like this. All right, start with our main LFOs here. All right, let's shape this next one here. So, a question was posed over in Damien's stream this morning. By the way, if you're not already doing it, here's Damien. Is a great channel to check out and follow and subscribe to. Damien Taylor, Grammy winner, great guy, fantastic human, wonderful channel. Anyway, questions were posed this morning about how in the world do I make digital stuff sound more analog, more organic. So let's just talk about that. One of the easiest ways that you can achieve that kind of effect easily is by trying your best to recreate what's commonly referred to as analog drift. And you can do it in a number of ways. And analog drift is not a singular thing. It's not a result of a singular function per se. It is a combination of things. So in the hardware world, obviously, things are plugged into the wall and the electric current is not steady. So there's a little bit of fluctuation in electric current coming through it. There's also the fact that the actual circuitry, the components, all have their own unique physical characteristics. The fact that electricity flowing through metal is going to heat things up a bit. So just the process of expanding and contracting as things heat up and cool down. There's lots of different variables in there, and it's not just as easy as just hitting random on something inside of a soft synth and getting an analog sound out of it. But once you start to understand what kind of characteristics are involved in the type of drift that you're chasing, then it becomes very easy actually to create that kind of effect in your software synths. And if you're unsure and you're just getting started with this, especially with these slower moving LFOs and envelopes like what we're playing with here today, you can do this. You can move away from a straight linear path and just start adding in a bunch of breakpoints. As long as you're not getting too crazy with the level of convex and concave curvature, then you're probably going to end up with something that is, fairly realistic and true to what you're aiming for. And you're not going to break anything while you try. So just start doing it. And it's going to take you away from the super predictable, super sharp, straight edge kind of sound. And if you're looking visually at your sounds, at your envelopes and your LFOs, if they look rigid and edgy, then they are. It's as simple as that. There's no getting around that. So just spend a few seconds massaging the curves just a bit here and there just to soften things up. None of them have to be overly extreme, just a little bit more organic. And slowly you start to hear that take effect. The other thing that I would highly encourage is saving some of your LFOs for, like this one right here. You may have seen when I first loaded this up that there's actually patches that I've created for subtle modulation like this, where you can just freely drop this on a parameter at full level, and it's only going to be modulating a very small amount within that huge range of modulation potential. And that helps too. But right now what we're going to do is just modulate a few things just to give a little bit of a vibrating feel to this. Maybe we'll take this up to like a 30-second or something. Pretty quick. Not a ton, just a little bit, just to keep the people guessing a little bit. You can see it doing its magic on the level knob here. And maybe we'll take and we'll put one here on the cutoff, and just a tiny, tiny little bit, and maybe we'll even go down instead of up. Let's slow this one way down. In fact, we'll just take it out of the BPM entirely. If you get your macros set up in the general region that you want them to be, you only have a very minimal amount of modulation to do inside of your actual productions, right? Because you could just simply modulate the timbre knob, for instance, over a range of say 8 to 32 bars or something like that, and you're modulating it just a very small amount, and you're getting a huge amount of change because it's affecting several things, right? It's affecting the cutoff position of your filter, which in turn is disclosing more or less of all of the changes happening simultaneously with your wavetable position. And then there's the modulation of the effects happening on the other page, and all of these things start to come together. So Groot. Oh man. Okay, so we'll sync this up with the other list here in a little bit, but we've had a couple Groot. We had a, well, I'm not going to add the scary atmospheric because we're already doing that. Oops. Use Omnisphere mainly for creating sounds. And you do quite well with it, man. It's right up your alley. Yeah, Ben's probably right there. I can't remember what it is, but I think it's like $10 or something a month through Splice. Um, and yeah, the plugin is solid. You get a free demo period when you first get started. The forum is pretty active. The user base is very active and highly evangelized, so they're very ready to share. Um, yeah, isotope vinyl is dope. Yep, yep. And the burial tone, of course. Um, yum 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 yum. Speaking of, maybe we should make a little vinyl-inspired patch next because we can. This one seems pretty close to a good stopping point right now. This is our fast mod. This is our filter mod. I'm fine with both those just being straight tries. So let's go ahead and save this, and let's give this its own directory here, since this will be a sound pack for you guys. And we'll call this hmm. What should we call it? Outliers? I know, I know. At most. I don't know. Maybe that's cheesy. Maybe not. But I just had a little visual appear in my mind for potential artwork, so I might run with this. You guys can toss out ideas. I'm happy to move away from it. But I tend to mostly just work very quickly, and when I have an idea, I just run. So talk me out of it. We'll call this one we'll call this one Fringe. And we won't tag this yet because we haven't even gone back and polished it. And let's just start from scratch. Initiate. Let's make something really I am Groot. Oh my goodness. Yeah, what should it be? Groot or I am Groot? Decisions. Okay, so for this one, let's start with something really clicky. Let's go like super sub. What, like a square clicky? Ooh, or we can go with the pulse width, which gives you kind of like the flam up high and the swing down low. I'm thinking maybe this one. Let's go back up a couple of octaves. Okay, so we'll use that for something interesting. And let's pick out an interesting sound too. I want to use one of mine. Let's do a, well, I've actually created a nice wide vinyl to start. It's like a starting type sound. We could use something like that. This was handmade, so it's already unique. Okay, so we like that. So we can actually FM from both these sources. Let's go ahead and pick out, let's kill those and pick out something simple. Let's do our friend BD sign on A, and let's go with something a bit more interesting on B. Okay. Maybe we will keep. Maybe we'll keep this one at its root, and we'll bring this one down. We'll bring this one down too. And this can be the one that we FM from our noise to get some grit, and this one can be the one that we FM from our sub to get some interesting kind of pulse changes. Let's work on those first. Oh, gotta turn it on, of course. So this is always an interesting thing to play with because it's obviously going to change dynamically based upon the key that you're playing. I think I might want to take this one down, just one. All right, and let's spread this one out. Let's go. Maybe let's go 4 on this one. Let's go an odd number on this one. We'll make the low our lead in this one. Fairly detuned and somewhat flat. Yeah, this will be dope. Okay, so let's take a gander at B. We have to turn on our noise for this to take effect. Okay, this one will be pretty interesting. So what we're going to do with this, we'll send B through our filter, but not A. And let's go with a high. And we'll make it pretty sharp. We'll move that around a bit. Let's bring back in A. Yeah, so we'll bring those around. All right, so let's bring our click down when we do this. Let's call that top. And let's just enhance the kind of chorusy thing we've got going on here just a bit. I don't think we can handle any more hyper. Give this a little bit more of an edge to grab onto for our reverb. Let's add a little bit of grit. Actually, we'll add that late. We'll add that toward the end, actually. Just add regular chorus here. Hold on a second. Let me just go max here so I can hear it all. Remember your 1/3, 2/3 ratio for your kind of ping pong relationship. If you set it up at about 0.33 or a 0.66, then you get kind of a naturally occurring ping pong thing, which will actually keep your stuff fairly in phase, surprisingly enough, because you're kind of going with the rhythm. Hey, hey, Damien and crew, welcome, welcome. Welcome. We're doing some deep immersive sound design stuff today, ramping up to the birthday stream next week, so everybody here is going to get this pack. Make sure that you follow and sub so we can keep track. We're doing beautiful, floaty, orby type stuff. We're doing scary, dark, deep, sinister kind of stuff because Halloween is coming, and we always start getting freaky this time of year. Thank you for the follows, you guys. B flat, Caro, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Guy, welcome back. Majul, Rain, everybody, welcome, welcome. Good to see everybody here. Freaky deaky indeed. Maybe we'll even call this one Freaky Deaky. But yeah, just getting back to this, you know, there's all sorts of little things that you can do to help keep your stuff sounding good, whether it's going to be for screen or music, so it plays well with the other sounds in the mix. So if all you're looking for is stereo width, without it actually clashing with things, this is a really nice trick, right? You bring up your feedback and your depth, and don't filter out anything. Go full mix, full wet, so you can actually hear what you're adding, and then start backing off until it starts to sound the way that you want it to. If you don't want the traditional chorus phase effect in play, then keep it at 100% and just enjoy the warble that you get from it, that the kind of tape effect or spinning vinyl effect. If you do want the phasiness, then keep your mix down. You can hear them pushing up against each other there. We're just going for a tiny bit of movement here. And I actually should be keeping track. What we don't want to do is fill you guys up with a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't sound great, right? So I'm just going to keep an eye. We will straighten that up. Yeah. Okay, so let's bring in that top just a little bit. Some of that stuff that makes you start to question your sanity, right? Those little elements. Those will sound good once we start putting this out into space. We're definitely going to need a little bit of delay in there as well. And we're going to want to shape the body of this pretty heavily. So we'll put our delay after our compressor. So let's take off some of our lows here. We don't want to overinflate this. And we need to start bringing our phase in just a bit. That's big. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at that. Can we just appreciate that for just a second? Let's zoom in on that for a second. Look at that thing. Looks like barbed wire back there. Talk about an electric charge, huh? All right, let's see what happens when we take that up a bit more. Oh yeah, it's super skinny. Dusty. dusty. Yeah. All right, let's start to send this stuff out into space here a little bit. Let's do similar to what we did last time, where we're just going to spark up the edges a bit, but this time what we're going to do is we're also going to create a little sweep, a little frequency sweep in here. I still have some basic shaping to do on the front end, so let's grab number 4 here, and we'll set this up. Let's actually go down from the top this time, and let's make this one slower. And we'll speed that one up, slow this one down. And again, full wet so we can hear what the hell we're doing. I like to offset those just a tiny bit more. A little less predictable. That's a little bit better. All right, let's ping pong this so it scatters. So a little bit more. Okay. That's better. All right, now let's get that backed out a bit. Bring down our top just a touch. All right, now let's add in our reverb and get this thing really going. Cut out just a little bit there. Go mostly for mids on this one. Spin way down and take the depth way up. Let's see what this sounds like screamed out here. Okay, let's get back to the front end of this thing and make this sound move a bit, shall we? All right, LFO1. I'll just take this up and around and back way down on the speed. Let's untether this. All right, so that's doing its thing over here. Remember, we've got this FM tethered to this pulse. So I might just to really mess with people, connect this to a timbre control. And I'm also going to put just a little touch onto both of these, just to shift perspective. Just a touch. All right, so for this one, that's at 0.06. Let's take this one up part way. We'll untether this one as well. Slowly. This one's a little jagged. We might want to go in there and morph that a little bit. Let's take this. Let's sprinkle that in a bit more randomly here. Let's take and use something. Untether this as well. Just grab the tops of all of these, bring these down a little bit. Let's also, while we're in here, let's just change this all the way around. There we go. right, that makes our noise a bit more random. Yeah, the Ls are LFOs. And they're modulating a whole host of things right now. And yeah, part of that is moving the noise in and out. This LFO3 is assigned to this level knob on the noise. This is just a handmade patch or sample that I loaded that sounds like vinyl. We've also got a sub running 4 octaves down on a pulse width modulation. So it's super clicky. It's not being heard. It's simply being used as a modulation source over here. So it's adding a somewhat rhythmic oddity to this whole thing. And then that same noise patch is also FMing oscillator B, just to give our whole thing a bit more texture. Cooking class. Okay, Ben. Okay. I see you. For those of you who are just getting to know us here in the community, classically trained chef in a former life. So I use a lot of terminology. Yeah, see, this is going to work for both screen and speaker. Like, not just, I see you guys talking video games, but this is absolutely, you know, this would be relevant for any kind of deep electronica, even pop. Sounds be sounds, right, Paul? Oh, definitely the dub tech. All right, let's detune this thing a bit. This one comes up. This one comes down. Let's also, just for the oddness of it, the general odd appeal, let's just snap this over here and randomly find one little spot for it, and we'll make this a unipolar and bring this up or down. It's just going to be subtle. Right. Too subtle? Oh. No, just not being heard, that's all. All right, obviously that needs to just be an envelope. Too much? Let's bring that down a little bit. I'm feeling a little bend here, though. All right, so we'll call this one timbre, and we'll call this one layer. We can mod that one and that last assignment, and maybe we'll just call that one, let me just name this really quick. Maybe we'll mod that one with the timbre, just to mess with folks just a bit more. Always nice when people try to figure out how something is working, as long as it's not too extreme. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We'll put that on the timbre. So, oh, wait, hold on a second. That's not what I wanted. Right here. There we go. So now when we turn up the timbre, we get a slight little bend. course, we have to have the layer turned on for us to hear that. So if we turn this up, we'll hear a little pitch bend. Okay. Bring out our layer just a touch. Oh, this is just in time for Halloween, you guys. Thanks, Polly. Hey, Nick, heads up, that link that Rick just shared is worth a gander. Thanks, B-flat. Okay. We're starting to get there. Let's see what we can do about an EQ. Oh, and we still need to add our distortion. I wanted to do that after the reverb on this one. Little tape satch. It is all alchemy. All right. Oh, you guys, I need coffee. It's an emergency. I will be right back. Hey, I highly suggest going and getting some coffee because we're going to be here for a bit. I will be right back. Don't move. And I've got another one for the board. I'm back. We need hold music. And I'm not talking like, let's pull up SoundCloud or anything. I'm talking like we need to make ourselves a little lounge hold music or something. Make something fun. I'm hearing maybe some like marimba, maybe like a little girl from Ipanema inspired kind of thing or something. 2 cups. Paulie's ready to go. All right. I'm catching up with you, homie. Yeah, so this one definitely needs to move a bit more too. And I'm probably not going to be happy with the static tape saturation. So let's play with this for just a minute here. This question comes up all the time. Why is it when I saturate, sometimes it rounds out or softens my sound instead of making it sharper? Well, first, it has everything to do with what kind of distortion you're using, obviously, but it more has to do with the target frequency. And your target frequency is everything when you're saturating. If you're targeting a frequency that is lower than a lot of your bright edges, then you're going to end up with those bright edges being rounded. That's just the way that it works. If you want to change that, start playing with your frequency position and your bandwidth. Okay, let's see here. What is 4 tethered to right now? Oh, right. I really don't like that these are one and the same now. You have to have tooltips to hover to see your assignments. Delay frequency. That's way too fast for the delay frequency. That's this one. It's probably better. Well, saturation doesn't necessarily sharpen at a certain range at the expense of others. What I'm saying is that your what saturation is actually doing is introducing more harmonic activity. You're targeting a specific frequency. If you're not given the opportunity to target a certain frequency, then you're saturating the entirety of the frequency range. In like a blanket universal fashion. But let's say you have a ton of texture between say 4K and 12K, okay, and you're targeting a frequency of say 600 or something because you really like the mid character and you're trying to beef that up. You're absolutely going to round off. You're going to obfuscate and kind of smear a lot of those top frequencies because you're pushing other frequencies around down lower in the spectrum. Now, if you have dry wet control or balance control of said saturation in those situations, then you can back off of it, just like this. Like we can target a mid frequency like this and hear a really kind of almost muted effect, right? And then we can back off the mix and then we bring those highs back in and we still keep that rounded mid-low kind of thing happening. It's all just kind of understanding what the actual function is that the effect is applying, and then just kind of working yourself back from that point logically, right, and figuring out why what you're hearing is why you're hearing what you're hearing, like why it's having that effect. It's more about pushing other frequencies around. Right. Yeah, exactly. And, you know, one more reason why you should always listen to just the wet of whatever you're applying first, right? Because if you don't, then you don't actually know what you're applying. And it's a fairly arbitrary action at that point, which, you know, it's great for discovery sometimes. But if you don't know what you're doing, then it's hard to recreate the magic when it happens, right? There's nothing wrong with falling into a really good spot. Happy accidents are what half this game is about. But understanding how you got there or how you may have gotten there is priceless. So you can do it again. Okay, now let's just use a filter and an EQ here. I think it was probably the right choice, putting the distortion after the reverb. We're going to put the EQ right before. our compressor. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put it before everything up here. And I'm going to roll off just a bit. But we'll keep a resonant peak there just to keep it beefy down there. And then I'd like to take a bit out of the middle on this one. Just so this is the type of sound that when you start bringing up that sine layer, and once you've got all the saturation in there and stuff, then it's going to create kind of a hot mess in the middle of the mix, and I don't want to do that because your sounds need to still come through if you're putting this into a project. Check out our, oh yeah, we still have plenty coming through there. Look at that. Look at all that space. Let's just bring up our layer here. Yeah, pretty clean. It's got a very insectoid quality to it right now. Let's change that just a little bit. Let's start messing with our timbre just a bit more. Let's bring our highs down on that one and our mids up on this one. Let's just go in there and fine tune those two assignments. This is our high. We'll bring this down just a little bit. And our mids we'll push up just a little bit. So again, this is our timbre control. And let's bring this up so we can hear that a little bit better. You know, I kind of feel like we get more mileage from the sub if we changed our direction here just a little bit. So instead of an FM here, I think what we'll do is something a bit more jarring. Maybe we'll do a bend plus minus. We'll set this one in the center so it's close to where we started. And we'll bring this down instead. It should work pretty well for us still. And on this one, since we're bringing this in here, all we're going to be hearing is clicks. It's going to kind of double up on this one. Oh, that's pretty interesting. Okay, that's pretty crazy right there, huh? I think I'm going to call this tone layer, and we'll call this gritty top or something like that, so everybody's clear on what these are doing here. Absolutely, Saffron. Gotta keep it real. It's a bit of shape in our sound. Kind of walked away from that, didn't we? An eye. Yeah. All right, so those sound good. Let's get back in here, and we're going to finish this whole thing with a filter. And let's make this one kind of interesting. Let's play around with the idea of some kind of vocally aspect of the sound. 100% wet right now. Let's really push this, see what we can get away with here. Not much, really. Mm-hmm. Not even a little bit. I don't like it even a little bit. But I might like some comb scrubbing in the middle of something like that, though. Let's see what that sounds like here. Yeah, I think our sound's too mellow for all of that. I would like to rough this up in some way with either some sample and hold or maybe even the reverb, which is freaky. If we have a choice, we could go a bit more bit crushy or a bit more like radio interference. I'm thinking maybe radio interference on this one is really what I'm wanting. Could be up here. Let's just let's bring that down here. Let's take part of that off the center axis here. Or axis. Alright, let's just add that. Ebuck, thank you for the follow and welcome. Have a little grit. Let's bring our timbre back down a bit. Alright, and we're moving our frequencies here. Definitely want to come back in and mess with this a bit more, but you know me, I like to hit pause on things and just come back to them with fresh ears. I don't like working on stuff for more than really a few minutes at a time, honestly. I'd like to move this mid frequency just a bit on this EQ, just so we can get some more movement early, probably ish. And let's do a let's just use something. No, let's do. Let's bring all these down here. And let's also just flip these here. Something like this. Let's down just a touch. And let's also, let's just take all of that down here. There we go. Rick, you're cracking me up over here, man. Okay, so I do like those changes, but I'm just going to bring all of it down a bit. Because you don't need that much change. I want this thing getting all bright on us. That's better. It is a real illness. It's a... Yeah, we can support each other here, right? All right. That's one fuzzy sign right there. This sounds a little artifacty, which makes me wonder if maybe we should just put this right here, right after our delay. Oh. It's definitely our filter doing it. Take that down just a little bit. There we go. Yeah. I can see the videos going viral right now. You know, girlfriends, wives, partners, they're all sharing. Get their partners some help. Pictures of people in like cardboard boxes under bridges in downtown urban areas, and yet they have a really awesome Euro rack sitting in there with them. Hypnotherapy sessions, yeah. You know, I can build you some hypnotherapy pads with this modular rig. Synonymous SA. I got an SA meeting tonight. Really, that just means hanging out with other people and lusting over the gear that they've bought and that you're not going to buy because they're kind of sharing it with you. Not sure how much help there is there. I feel like it's definitely pushing the addiction further, but you're not spending as much money, so I would attend. Hi, my name is Chris, and I have a problem. Well, other people think I have a problem, but I think I've got it all figured out. They're just a little bit behind. But really, I could quit anytime that I want to. I just want to push just this button really quick first, though. I just need to, and maybe just adjust this knob a little bit, and then I'd have to attend like 3 meetings a day. Okay, so this one will be, we'll put this back into Atmos, and we'll call this a liminal space, because I'm not sure what the heck it is right now. Late night specialist, hello. Hey, sorry, late night specialist is here, so we got to wrap things up and get out of here. No, I'm just kidding. I think the last couple times you've shown up, we've been skedaddling, and this time we're not. I'm just teasing. We're not going anywhere. Ben, yeah, that would be kind of the intro right there, right? Oh, that's freaking funny. Okay. Next, let's just start from scratch again. How many sounds are going to be in your sound pack, you guys? That's the question. Should we figure that out really quick? Yeah, see, this support group is just, it's going to be all of us joking about not ever getting any help and what kind of things we would say in a meeting that we would never attend that would actually help us. I'm feeling better already too. Oh, late night specialist? No, no, no splice. But you can find us in other places. I did, for those of you who have not heard, I did end the exclusivity with Native Instruments recently, so we could get back into some roots. Back on ADSR. You guys will see us on Big Fish here in a minute, and some other places. And you can always just go direct through the website. It's cheap. If you're not familiar, Late Night Specialist, OhmLab is totally community driven. So the sounds that you find are actually relevant and sought after, and everything's $10. This is not a get rich quick scheme we have going here. This community's been around for a long time. So you've got we should have a community contest where you guys take pictures of the things around your house that you've put controls on, right? That are like total synth related or whatever. Oh, I like the so you have to turn the cutoff on the stove to 68 to make the best eggs. That's great. All of them, Polly. So, oh, that's right. You weren't here. You were still over with Damien when we started the stream. So, the shtick this week is that we're doing a birthday stream next week, and every year I do something kind of crazy for the birthday. Because me birthday, Sue birthday, right? So, sometimes it's something wild, like 80% off everything, and everybody just gobbles up everything. And sometimes it's just like something that I made for you guys just on that day or whatever. Nobody else gets it. But what we're doing this year is there's probably going to be a stupid discount again on everything. But we're also going to spend this week making you guys a sound pack. And we had people inquiring about 3D sounds, incredibly immersive atmospheres, really deep design. So that's what we're going to be doing. Yeah. The JD800. Yeah, East West is good. Oh man. Yeah, birthday streams are always fun. Oh yeah, I guess we probably should put birthday on the list, right? We should probably make that happen. Because, they happen. Yeah, birthday streams, huh? Interesting. Thoughts on Cubase? Cubase is great, especially if you're doing stuff for the video game industry specifically, just because it has roots in the game industry and it's got a bunch of built-in features, workflows, shortcuts, and whatnot that are kind of ideal for that type of work, sync for screen type of stuff. Yeah, there you go. You can talk to Zaris about it nonstop. Who else is using it? Nate's been using it recently. Nick has been using it. Wait, has Nate been using it? Nate, shout out if you're still here. I know that Saffron Works is using it and he's digging it. I've known people using it for decades and they would never change. Just like I'm not going to change my Logic ways probably. Oh snap! Does that mean you have to go and Yeah, you still need to install it. Yeah, absolutely for composers. Anybody that's been uh, producing for sync and stuff for ages is just stuck in it because it's so good. Yeah, a lot of people use it. Junkie, yep, for sure. What are we doing? Starting from scratch, right? Let's build something. What did we do the first one? I don't want to build all of the same thing. So we just did this liminal space, which was kind of like a vinyl kind of inspired thing at first. I just need to remind myself what fringe was really quick. Just a sec. Let's go back down because we were dropped 2 octaves for this one, I think. Oh yeah, that's right. This one started very simple and then... Yeah, this is all just in time for Halloween, really. Okay, so let's just start from scratch. And this time, let's make a... what should we make? Something kind of pulsy? Oh yeah, Yuhi Zebra's amazing. Yep. Oh yeah, absolutely recommend it, dude. When we first built ADSR, it was good enough for it to have its own website in the network, right alongside Massive and FM8 and Kontakt and Reaktor, and it's absolutely still just as beastly as it ever was. The only thing from back then in that same kind of user base demographic, if you will, that was not worthy compared to now is Omnisphere. Omnisphere now is just amazing compared to what it used to be. I mean, you look at what it used to be back when Zebra 2 hit the scene, and it was absolutely a rompler in comparison to what it is now. Everything that was great back then is only better now. Some might argue that Alchemy isn't because they can't use it on their PCs anymore. Not a current build anyway. Because it's logic only now, but everything else, I mean, Yuhi is just absolutely amazing. But Zebra's some of the best. Yeah, you got in it when it was already 2, and you hit the ground running. It's like made for you, dude. Absolutely. All right, let's see. Yeah, let's do something kind of. I mean, I don't need to stay on the dark, sinister vibe all day, but now that I'm kind of thinking, kind of Halloween frame of mind. guess maybe it's just not running long enough for it to register. Not even liking where I started there. Let's try that again. Let's use one of mine. Let's use another one of mine. Still I kind of want to almost force some kind of pulsy thing to happen now at this point. Come back to this knock-in and make it work. Yeah, it could be used for ethnic world stuff for sure, but I mean anything can. Yeah. It is pricey. I mean, it's just like anything else, man. If you've got stuff that works for you, keep using the stuff that works for you, and then pick up something like that when you've got disposable income and extra time to master a new tool, because really it's better to become the master of a tool than just kind of dabble in a whole bunch of different tools. Dabbling, it can feel fun in the moment, but in the long run it feels kind of disappointing, I guess. A lot of people just don't find the progress that they want to find. Let's do a band on this one. Yield haystack. The wavetables that I'm using here, they're actually a Sound Freaks. That's another label that I own. If you want to head on over to ADSR or Sound Freaks, the Sound Freaks website is garbage right now. Running an old theme on it while we rebuild. But if you let me just shoot over a link. Be surprised if it's even running right now. It's been so neglected for the last minute. as I've been getting everything here reworked. Okay, let's see here. Well, the site does run. It just looks pretty plain. Let me just put a link in the chat here. I talk about it like it's this totally defunct label or something. I'm awful. No, it's really great stuff, of course. I'm proud of what we make. The wavetables specifically, Polly, are in the shapeshifters pack. If you're looking for these particular, also in that pack are a ton of presets. I forget exactly what it is. It's like 100 presets or something for just general use. It's called shapeshifters because each one of them transforms completely from like a skinny pluck to a big pad kind of thing, and all sorts of timbre changes in between. Good for a wide range of genres. And then there's also just a ton of wavetables. There's custom noise profiles that I built. These are all handmade. They sound like they're recorded, but they're actually all handmade inside of Absinthe of all things. And then there's also just a whole bunch of modulation shapes as well, which are really great for breaking up things in general, like just getting out of the normal mode. You know what I mean? Anyway, it's there. You can grab it if you want. You can also, the noises are broken out in a standalone product just called Noise on the OhmLab site. Or if you're a Native Instruments subscriber, you can grab it on sounds.com. You can also grab it from ADSR if you shop there. A number of different places. You like this? You like the wavetables, huh? Yeah, they're fun. We can run through just a whole bunch of them here in a little bit. Let's knock out one of these sounds and then circle back and do that. It's fun to take a look at those things. All right, so let's do maybe a wind chime on this one, or a paper bag even. What do we want? Crunchy texture or jingly texture? Right now I'm thinking wind chimes. Maybe bring them down just a little bit, maybe? That might be a little bit too recognizable. A little bit more. There we go. Now, if only Steve would give us more than one noise oscillator, then we could double up on that. We could run two noise out, one pitch down, one pitched up, and that would sound tremendous, I think. All right, let's see. What else do we have here? We've got this. I really want to move this around in space, so let's do that. And let's make this a bipolar. And let's also just slow this way down and unsync it. Ooh, and this is all sorts of jumpy. We might want to morph this a little bit better. And let's set this one in motion too. Let's give this one a downward thing. Let's untether this one as well. And let's also just shape this a little bit differently. And then let's set this guy into motion as well. I wanted to kind of sync up with the pulses that we're getting out of this modulator on B. Ooh, and I definitely would like to pitch this up through some FM if possible. Let's do an FM from A. Some interesting things there. Okay, so we'll make this on a timbre control. And let's also ring mod in from the sub just to add a little bit of juiciness to this. Because that's going to cascade over into this here because that'll affect the signal shape. So it can't be too extreme, but we can give it just a little push in that direction. Let's bring this back. Find our sweet spot. Let's turn this up a bit so we can all hear it a little bit better. There we go. That's starting to sound like something. Alright, this is too fast. Let's bring that down. That'll work. All right, those wind chimes are pretty haunting. Let's bring those in and out as well, maybe even at the same rate as our envelope is disclosing things. So we kind of give the illusion that it's in that same sweep, even though it's not. We'll leave it outside with that sub. And then let's start messing with this a bit. Now I'm kind of thinking that we should go back up on this. Nah. Oh, I think maybe they just need to be a bit more dynamic is all. Let's just give them a tiny bit of pitch range to work within here. Hey, every once in a while you get lucky and you nail a harmonic position. Close. It was almost there. Too much. That sounds pretty good together. Yeah, that sounds kind of cool. All right, so let's do a up, down. Do a shaper here. This one will be actually pretty simple on one side, but on the other side, I like to make just a little bit of hard edge change. All right, let's actually assign this. So we'll call this saturation. Just a simple kind of wave shaper situation here. Give it a little edge, kind of like that. Let's bump that level just a touch. We can do that with our knob as well here. Let's do uni instead of pi and bring that back just a touch. Switch back over. Junior Music, that is actually one of the defaults. There's the default. And then that one. Alright, so let's bring that mix down a bit. This back down a bit. Our chorus up. There we go. Now it's starting to get a little feels. Let's give the top of this just a little bit more. What are our pulses running at? 8ths. So it'd be great if we just did a little, maybe just a little quarter note pulse here. Maybe the opposite direction. More, all right. Get a compressor on this just to bring out the bottom just a touch. Junior, thank you for the sub. You will be the proud recipient of a special surprise. Stay tuned. Why the default attack is still so high, I do not know. We're going extreme on the gritty feels, so we can back off of it again. I know it sounds a little odd, but that's what we're going to do. Let's put a filter here. And then we already have a band going up high, so we'll just keep this really simple here. So we're just keeping just the edges of all that little, Polly, thank you for the sub. You too will be the recipient of a special surprise. Right, yeah, so those wind chimes are really starting to heat up there in that background. Let's do just a tiny bit of phase right before the compressor. No. Yes. Just to accentuate those just a little bit. See if we can listen closely and isolate those mentally. Oh, right in here. Kind of in that spot, maybe? All right. Again, let's give the edges something. Let's do really, really long ones. We'll put these against each other. We'll shorten this one a bit, lengthen this one a bit. Just listen to this. Longer. Set it out into the stereo field a bit. Bring this back in. And then let's just give this some verb to play in. Again, we're going big on the atmospheres. Let's make this one a little bit brighter than the others have been. And let's keep a bunch of spin in there just for the sake of movement. We might have to do this a couple ways because a bunch of people aren't even going to have serum, of course, so we're going to have to bounce out some pads, but we're going to probably be bouncing out with different processing. We'll have to spend like a whole stream probably just bouncing stuff out of patches that we really like. We'll let you guys vote that day or something and figure out what you really want. Oh, right here. More Halloween, you guys. Okay, so this will seem maybe just a little bit weird, but what if we took... Let's just play here for just a second. Oh, wait, no, not the mix. Not the mix. The decay. We duck it down to almost nothing. And we do the same controller on our lows. So we chop the legs off of our whole tail, and we do it on a quarter. That really allows the individual hits to squeak through of the wind chimes, but the wind chimes are so pitched down that it's lost all of its transient sharpness. let's see what this feels like when we actually take. Wait, hold on a second. If we were to bring this down, and there we go. Oh, that's pretty short. Hold on a second. That's better. I think that the pulse might be a bit much now. Let's bring that down just a little bit. Bring up the bottom. Bring down the top. When you get to the bottom, you go back to the top of the slide. Man, there's almost nothing better than when your child is asking to hear more Beatles. But when you go out on a father-son dude day over the weekend into the woods and he says, "Can we listen to some Jerry?" My old hippie heart, you guys. Oh my goodness. Alright, let's put an EQ on this thing. And let's do it at the very end this time, just so we can shape the reverb just a bit too. I know that's got a bit of a funky logic to it, but just trust me here. Just trust. And oh, you hear those wind chimes in there? B flat, thanks for sticking around. It was good having you here. We will see you next time. Oh, okay, so this obviously cannot go up that high. So we need to key track this down, or else we're gonna hate this sound soon. Okay, let's do that even more. Let's just bring it way down. That might be a little bit better. Or maybe that's just straight butchery. Let me try coming at this from a different angle here. Broad and large. Let's try this instead. This might do better. All right, let's key track this one down instead. Oh, I think that phaser's lifting up those wind chimes pretty nicely. This is all a bit too heavy still. So our compressor here. to see what this plays like up top. And verb up. There we go. Yeah, it's definitely got a Blade Runner thing going on. Of course, Android's Dream. Let's put a filter control. Let's give us some space to operate in between these two mid-range points here. All right, we'll just call this one filter. Except this is also going to have just a little flutter built into it as well, and it's going to be somewhat rapid. We'll set this one at 16ths, so it'll be synced, but we're going to aux that to that same filter control. So that's macro 3. Had to experiment in VCV. I know that feeling. Okay, yeah, so the filter definitely adds. A little something there, huh? Let's, maybe we'll back off just slightly on the range. Oh, it just makes the whole thing shake just a little bit. That's nice. Okay, the next thing is on our top end. Let's just put that same controller just a touch on the frequency control here. Which means we'll have to tighten up our Q here a bit by. Bandwidth bump on this. See if we can take that clipping down just a tad. I think we might have gotten it there. Hey, nothing wrong with a new granular looper, man. Nothing wrong there at all. Oh, nice. Also, I love the free-ish, too. You know, we might just need to actually just chop off this bottom here instead. That's probably a little bit more stable. Let's a bit more of the wind chime through. Also, let's more of that saturation through. Back up on that a bit, bring back our timbre. See if we like where we are. Add our space back in. Do we feel like we are floating in some immersive space here? Because that's what we're going for. And then we should be able to just basically with a dial bring all that back. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, let's call this one. Floating in jellyfish. You got a link for us, Paul? Or is it just something that you're gonna stick to music soon? Okay, the wind chime has become incredibly haunting. We already did a... Is this the one that we did the pitch tracking? No, we didn't. So what if, bear with me for just a second here. What if we take our last LFO and we go up like maybe just one, and we set this to like a 30-second note and set it to a super smooth sine wave? What would that do? It smears it too much, unfortunately. Oh well, it was worth a shot. The ethereal quality of these wind chimes right now is just awesome. All right, what should we call this? Let's call this one let's call this one Space Jelly. Thank you, Paul, for the inspiration. Nate, thank you for the host. We are viewing something that came in from Paul just a moment ago. Oberheim? VCV? Nice. Nice. Oh man, I thought that was a glowing hummingbird at first. It's like, what are you doing to me? We catch you off guard there, Saffron? People that are just tuning in right now are wondering what is going on. Oh, hallelujah, brother. Yeah, it's great. People are liking it, Paul. That's okay. Mine only goes sideways. We can hang out. That's got a lot of tasty old school love in it. I enjoy the simplicity of the generative stuff here too. Zaris, I think he puts out video stuff for all sorts of stuff that he makes. Is that correct, Paul? Boom, boom, boom. Also in Oberheim. Nate. BCV Rack eats the Oberheim Matrix 1000. All music to video these days. Yeah, that's a good choice. That's a good choice. The world has gone visual. Faux show. All right. Polly wanted to see some more of these wavetables, I think. So we already named this. Let's go ahead and initiate this. I'm just going to create just a little, like maybe a 1 bar sweep or something like that for right now. And let's just trip through some of these. Let's go a little longer than that. And let's also just drop an octave, add a couple voices so we can actually hear what's going on here. Kind of appreciate, see these. When I'm making these wavetables, I try my best to keep everything pretty fluid, but it's all coming out of different types of FM and ring mod and stuff like that. There's still time, Purple Pros. You could do that. You could make that happen. Maybe it's your new calling. This clairvoyant one has been used a whole bunch over the past couple years in a bunch of different things I've done. This fluffer nutter as well. Oh, some of these wavetables in here too, if you look very carefully at the beginning of I've left in a frame or two that will have kind of a jump, so you can get really nice electrical kind of impulse reactions from them. They're great. Yeah, they're all pretty solid. They're all pretty solid. They're all pretty balanced. this. Lovely. Love this one. Look at this. It's just fun. Look at those waves. I mean, seriously? Let's just zoom in on this a little bit. Look at those. That's a sine into a sine FM. This is what's happening visually. The vertical value here is amplitude. Just look at those lovely curves. It's just delicious. Sorry, total geek. Can't help myself. The idea here is that with this pack, you should be able to get almost all of the different kinds of sounds that you want to get out of something. It's pretty unstoppable, really. What kind of stuff are you producing, Polly? Yeah, all the Sound Freak stuff is like super top shelf stuff, honestly. All the preset packs, and there's another sound pack in there that a lot of you might have interest in called the 404 drums deconstructed pack. It was all made out of kind of this proprietary scanned synthesis workflow that I developed some years back, and it's basically all derived out of just a couple sounds. One was like a tap with a pencil or a pen or something on my desk here, and then the other one was like my finger, like I think I licked it and rubbed it across the top of the desk, and then out of that came just this crazy, let me see if I can find I know how to find SoundCloud. I can do this. I can find SoundCloud. Where, oh where is that demo track? Let's see. It's been a minute. Shapeshifters, there's 404. Here, let me just pull this over. This stuff right here. Oh, just a second here. You can make drums out of anything. Literally every single sound you hear was made from my finger and a pencil. Rick, let me know which ones you want. I'll send them to you. If you want, we can listen to your new demo. 22 minutes like that is pretty long. Back in it. Hey, we're getting closer and closer to 20,000 downloads on Native Instruments. Whoever has a sounds.com subscription, if you want to fill up on some OhmLab sounds, go grab them. It's part of your subscription. Always good to get new stuff. Yeah, Saffron, there's definitely a touch of the glitch hop stuff in a lot of the beat making. I do. How do you get your tables like that? I don't know if I'm a noob. I am, but this is next level awesome. Oh, it's part of it is keeping things simple and having kind of a workflow formula that you follow and that you're consistent in. And part of it is kind of informed experimentation, right? But most of it is just simplicity, right? Most of it is just understanding what kind of things you wish the wavetables that you had would do, and then just building that. You know, a lot of times sticking closer to just like a traditional sine wave is better than starting with something really messy. You can always make stuff more interesting by adding just like a little bit of effects or something, which can then be brought in as part of the wavetable. We can definitely spend a couple of streams on just wavetable design because there is kind of an art and a science to it. I don't want to make it sound like, you know, this hard to attain thing that you have to study to learn or whatever. It's not like that. It's just that there's, you know, some things that you can do to make things better. That's all. What kind of samples are the... Oh, I skipped over some stuff. You love the glitching, nice. The samples, those samples were... Are you talking the wavetable samples? Is that what you're asking? You know what, folks? I feel like going for just a little bit more today, but I need to go let some of this coffee out. So I'm going to be right back. You stay here. I'll be right back. I'll answer your questions. And I'm back. Can you upload a sample pack to Sounds? No, it's not that easy. It's not that easy to get into any marketplace, honestly. I definitely suggest getting started with uploading some sounds to your site first. So you have kind of like a home base that you can send people to. Start populating a SoundCloud or something like that with examples, because you'll need demo tracks for all the sound packs that you make, and you'll need to put those somewhere. SoundCloud's kind of the universal player these days. But once you have a couple of things up, then you can start approaching different marketplaces. And I can show you. We can walk through those things together step by step. And I will send you an email when I get off this stream here, and we'll arrange the session. I think I asked if Thursday would work, and I don't think I looked back up to see what your response was. So if you're in the room right now, Nick, and you can tell me if Thursday works, I'll send you an email and we'll get your stuff scheduled. And we can talk about that and the website questions that you had too for building the marketplace. That's no biggie at all. Paul, sorry, the waveforms inside the wavetables here, these are wave files. In fact, if you look at the what am I trying to do here? Oh, presets. Tables. Yeah, these are just wave files, and if you just listen to them on their own, they don't sound anything special. A lot of them will just sound kind of harsh. But once you actually put them into motion in here, they start to sound pretty great. No, Ben, no. Sorry for confusing that. No, these are two different things. The stuff that we're showing inside Serum was from the Shapeshifters pack, which is from one of my other labels, Sound Freaks. And the 404 kit, 404 Drums Deconstructed kit is also from Sound Freaks. They are two separate products. But a lot of people kind of consider them essential if you're producing anything that's, where you're constantly seeking the unique and almost even quirky, whether it be for your synth sounds or percussive sounds or anything in between. Because all of it can be morphed in so many different ways. And the 404 kit comes with a ton of different instruments and stuff. The 404. So the 404 was, so those are just drum sounds, and I can show you some of those just to alleviate or eliminate the confusion here. 404 samples. So these are, here we can go into a more traditional view here. So these are the samples from the 404 kit, and everything in all these folders was basically derived from either my finger squeaking across the top of a table or a pencil or a pen hitting my table, or desk rather, and then doing a whole bunch of awesome things to them inside of a scan synthesis tool. Scanner XT, I believe, is what I used for these. I mean, it's just amazing that you can get just such sharp metallic sounds out of something like a finger, but it's possible. Some of these make really good wavetables, though. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. So where were we in this? In our journey here. Well, judging from your guys' reaction, I would say that if we can definitely justify probably a couple streams on just wavetables, just building quality wavetables. And then you two can make these gorgeous little beauties. And then, of course, the LFO shapes are just fantastic, too. Right, we need a forward and back. We need, like, arrows, so we don't have to constantly open up this folder. Steve, if you're watching right now, we love... Here's another subtle one called analog drift. Just toss this onto anything, like this. And you could even just do the fine pitch too, right? And you just bring this way down, and I mean, it doesn't even have to be brought way down, is the beauty of it, is that like it's such a small modulation amount in here that you can just find analog drift so easily. Just assign it and then quite literally just start dragging down until it's subtle enough for you. And you start to get your own baked in analog drift of sorts. Just apply it to the parameters that make the most sense for the sound. But yeah, it is very difficult, like Zara said, to get started. But, you know, everything that's worth it is hard. But, you know, it's like I've always said in all the classes and everything that I've led is that the same 90-10 rule that applies in every other form of business and aspect of life applies to this business as well. You know, 10% of the people involved are leaders, 90% are followers, whatever, 10% are business owners, 90% are customers, 90% of people don't show up, and 10% of the people do. So just be one of those 10%ers. And time will take care of the rest. As long as you're consistent and passionate and consistently passionate, then good things will happen over time. And it's tough to get in. But when you're in, you're in. And you know that you're in for all the right reasons when you get in, if that makes sense. But yeah, just having little things like this pre-made for you speeds things up in so many different ways. It's just great. Me too, Nate. I like the Formenty stuff. Oh, Real Talk. Hey, did we get Real Talk on the list? Let's just take a quick look, because every stream has Real Talk in it in my world. I think we already added this to the list, but I'll double check. Oh, I meant to mention that there will be a sound submission room in the Discord until that is unveiled for everyone to start using. You can send to holler@ohmlab.tv any sounds that you want to have considered for alerts, stuff like that. because we're going to customize the heck out of our channel here. And we might as well be playing with sounds and things that we really like. We'll get some cool animations going too. I'm sure of it. Nate, I would expect you to be making some of these as well. You like making noise. You make good noises. Polly, are you still here? Because if you are, we can run through a couple of the noise patches too, if you like. But I think before we actually wrap things up here, I am going to just close out of this. Where is that link? Oh, yes. That's right. I do believe it was sent here. There it is. I'm going to play a little bit of this demo from new stuff coming from Zaris. I'm just going to download this here really quick. All right, so I think that's just about done. Let's just find it and play it. This is, again, this is from the upcoming release from Zaris. And away we go. Shimmer Ethereal Vocal Collection. Cinematic vocals, yes, yes. 25 gigs. And our man dug into Kontakt this time. Just turn this up a bit more for you. It's just lovely.
You're blinded by the light you follow. Blinded by the light.
Truly a beauty.
You follow. Come home.
Nice, 1 month.
Come home.
Yes. Opposite direction. It is. Oh, you are still here, Polly. Cool. If you want, we can run through some of those noise samples too before we bounce. Okay, cool. It'll be out in about a month. Zaris has been working on this for some time. You guys should know that he pours his heart and soul into these releases. This is not something that just happens. We have kept in touch for the past several years, and he's always telling me when he's starting the new thing as he's finishing the last one. And this one's been going for some time. But this one's going to be a little bit different in the release in that there's going to be contact instruments as well. So get excited for that. This is some serious, awesome. Yeah, 3 months, 3 months already, and you've still got a month to go, right, to polish and smooth and yeah. 100 presets. There you go. I'm gonna skip ahead here just a little bit because it's a very long demo. It's like 20 some minutes long. I'm gonna skip ahead to the 10-minute mark, see where we are.
Flwyddyn yn barhau drwy'r gwaed, a'r gach, a'r ganu. Ei gwendid yw gobaith am y fory. Mae drwg gen I am
Oh yeah, this is definitely gonna sell.
Mae drwg gen I am
Skipping ahead again. Some Klingon. Authentic Elven. It's just gorgeous. All of it's gorgeous. And you know what? We're going to spend some time with it. When it comes out, we'll spend some time with it. And Rick, Zaris, we will get you in here for a legit sit down. And prior to that, we'll get you in here. We'll talk through Tesseract and some other stuff too. Yeah, all the field recording stuff is just gorgeous, and the vocal recordings are just pristine. It just sounds lovely. So, oh yeah, dude, of course, and we'll play more of it later when we have more people here. Official announcement goes out tomorrow, so we'll probably start seeing some more people show up in stream starting Wednesday. And then once things are really flowing, we'll start these interviews back up, and we'll get you in here, man. Absolutely. Posh Elven, not street Elven. Oh man. Polly wanted to hear a little bit of these noise. Here, let me just flip over to the Finder instead. noise. So these are all made by hand in absinthe of all things, because I can never get enough absinthe. Made these all a couple years back, and oh yeah, dude, Nick, this is like movie, video game, it's scoring essential 101. Absolutely. You're gonna be hearing that in tons of stuff in no time, starting in about a month. All right, let's listen through just a couple of these noises for Polly here. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely on the texture thing. I'm big into texture too. There's no texture, it's just not my stuff. If there's no texture, it's just not good. This room on tape one is fantastic for building room environments and stuff for games or whatever. Filling up empty space when you're seeking something for a TV show or something. Yeah, so anyway, a few years ago, I sat down and I made a list of a whole bunch of different types of noise. Um, the different types of noise that we normally reach for when sound designing various things. And then I just started ticking through that list and creating them just by hand, one by one. And when I got done, I picked the 50 best ones that I felt were like the most essential. And it still stands up, like still. all this time later, it still stands up. So 33 and a third. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So where did that folder just go? We got, what did we do today? Presets, users, Atmos. We've got 3 done. If we do a few more in the next stream, let's see here. How many more do we have? We have 1, 2, 3 for production before the birthday stream. So maybe if we do 1, maybe 2 more sessions of production of presets, so we could spend an entire stream just bouncing samples and have something packaged up and ready to go for you guys by next Wednesday. Should be a fun little project to work on for the next week. And in the meantime, where's my little thing? Here we go. Email. Holler at OhmLab.tv with requests, questions, feedback, sound submissions. We might be able to squeak in a little bit of feedback this week if we're making good progress on our pack. And I'd like to start opening up the gates for sound feedback, not just music feedback. And there will have to be streams where we just kind of designate sound versus music to keep everybody happy on the feedback front. But we'll start squeaking in a little bit of time, probably each stream, for feedback for you guys. And we're going to start challenges shortly after we open the gates. So I would like anybody that has requests or ideas for community challenges and contests to send those through to holler at ohmlab.tv, and I will add them to the list. We will then vote on what kind of campaigns we work on as a community. And for those of you who have not done this with us, done any of this stuff with us before in the past, just hang tight. And just come along for the ride for the first couple or something. It's a lot of fun. It's a good way to get new knowledge and new sounds all at the same time. So on that note, I think what I'm going to do. Oh, what kind of challenges? Well, Guy, there are kind of a range of challenges that we normally run. There are sprint challenges, which will be in stream, where we'll all be challenged to do something within a certain amount of time, and then you guys can upload to the Discord, and then we will play them by the end of the stream. And those are really fun because time constraints are some of the best skill enhancers, I guess we could call them. Some of the best skill enhancers that we can get our hands on are just time constraints. But anyway, we'll have a few. Some are going to be time-based. Some are going to be, I'm going to give you guys a sample to work with, or a waveform challenge where you can only use one kind of waveform to make a certain type of sound or whatever. And we'll all have a certain amount of time to get those things done and then rapidly upload to the Discord. And then we run through them all together and we vote. We keep an open vote tally going, and whoever wins, wins. Songwriting stuff. Oh, no. I'm talking sounds. I would like to keep some separation between Damien's channel and mine. In the past, we've done lots of song challenges as well. I definitely don't want to step on his toes since there's going to be a lot of crossover between the two channels, it seems. But what we will be doing on that front is we will be sending sounds over the fence, I do believe. And then you guys can put them into a song challenge in that room over there in those streams. And I think that would be a lot of fun. But the number of awesome things that will come out of a community in a matter of 10 minutes is mind-blowing. So I hope a lot of you participate in those, because everybody that participates can have access to the sounds. That's usually how we've done it in the past anyway. But yeah, if you guys have requests or ideas for those, you just holler at me. Same thing with contests, which are a bit different than the challenges because they're all kind of in an offline fashion and you guys work for a chunk of time on something. These are usually small somethings. Even if they're like sound packs, they're only like a few sounds. And then we pick winners and we hand out sounds and it's fun and everybody wins. But yeah, anyway, you guys, I'm going to call it a stream. I'm going to leave you with a bit more of the Zara's demo because it's lovely. And I will see you guys again on Wednesday. There's going to be no stream tomorrow. We're going to start off the Monday, Wednesday, Friday rotation this week and see how well that works. We'll probably run with it for a couple of weeks before we make any adjustments. But tomorrow, no stream because I'll be busy getting the word out to the mailing list and whatnot about the channel. So next time we meet, we'll probably have a few more people in the room with us. Yeah. And on that note, I'm going to fire up some music. Let's start this here. Oh, and thank you guys. No problem, Zaras. Purple Pros, it's so good to have you here. Glad you're sticking around for these. Paul, we appreciate you. Enigma. Oh, right? It is. It's got a bit of it, huh? You're right. Polly, 100 thank yous. And I will be seeing all of you on the flip side. Just a couple of days. Shoot me messages in between. Anybody interested in training, get in line. Shoot me a message because things are a little bit full right now. Saffron, I will send you a message right now and get your schedule. I'll see you guys on the flip.
I'll be waiting for you. Stay with me. Will you stay by my side? Autumn leaves are turning brown, branches bare.